And welcome back. It's the 21st of May, further maths 5 a day, and let's just go straight to the first one. Right, so we have a make h the subject. Now actually this is an interesting one because, although it's not obvious here, there's actually a sort of reverse complete the square type question, isn't it? So all I'm going to do is just do exactly that. I'm going to reverse things slowly. So I'm going to take away 20 from both sides. So that's going to give me m minus 20 equals h minus 7 squared. I'm then going to take the square root. Now at this stage, and I'm also going to move it over to the other side, I need to be careful because it's not the square root of m minus 20, it is plus minus the square root of m minus 20. And that is because, unless otherwise instructed, I'm not sure whether to take the positive or the negative value, which is why when we do the quadratic formula, we use plus minus. Add 7 to both sides, and that gives me a final answer of h is equal to 7 plus minus m minus 20. And that is the first question done. Next question. AB is a diameter of a circle. Right, so let's just do a quick diagram down here, then we can see what's happening. So AB is a diameter. In other words, I've got my centre in the middle, and I'll call that A, and I'll call that B. Q is the centre. Oh, weird. Okay, let's call that Q. A has coordinates minus 7, 14. Now, it doesn't matter. Well, we'll see in a second, but it normally doesn't matter whether my diagram is super accurate. It just allows me to think about what's going on. And B has coordinates 3, 2. Find the centre of the circle. So far this is not too bad, is it? And you can see from my diagram, the centre is the average of the x coordinates. So minus 7 plus 3 is minus 4 divided by 2 is minus 2. Again, just basically taking the median of the two. And then the y coordinate is 14 plus 2, which is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So my centre, fairly straightforward, is minus 2, 8. I feel there's a more difficult part coming. Then it says find the equation of the circle. Okay. Now, in order to work out the equation of a circle, I need two things. I need the centre, which I've got, and I also need the radius. So the way I'm going to do the radius is I'm going to work out the length from Q to B, or Q to A, doesn't matter. Now look at my x values. My x value of Q is minus 2, and it goes up to 3, so therefore my change in x is 5, Pythagoras 5 squared. My change in y is from 2 to 8, which is up 6, so that's 6 squared. Take the square root. May or may not be a calculator, this question, kind of doesn't really matter, but 5 squared plus 6 squared is a square root of 61, which means I can say the formula for the equation of my circle is going to be x plus 2, centre's minus 2, squared, plus y minus 8, so using the minus 8 from the q above, squared, is equal to root 61 squared, which of course is just 61. Question done. Next question. Okay, so it looks like we have a fairly straightforward sort of differentiation problem-y style question, doesn't it? So we've seen a few of these before if you've been following the videos along the way. Typically, either give me surface area or give me volume, and then I need to use one to work out the other. So it looks like here it's giving me surface area. Just quick check, so it is the whole cuboid, so sometimes it's an open box, so be a bit careful, but here it's a whole cuboid. So therefore my surface area is going to be, well, on the right hand side, so look at this side here, it's going to be 3x squared, and then I have 2 of those. The bottom is going to be xy, and then I have 2 of those. And the side, sort of back and front side, is going to be 2 lots, because I have 2 of those as well, 3x times y. And let's neaten all this up. So 2 times 3 is 6x squared. 2xy plus 2 times 3xy, well actually let's write it out. So it's going to be 2xy plus 6xy, and I can simplify that down to 6x squared plus 8xy. And I know from the question that's equal to 240. Now I kind of know where this next bit is going. So it says show that the volume of the cuboid is this thing here. So the volume is the length times the breadth times the height. So that's going to be 3x times x, which is x squared times y. And from here, I'm going to take my y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move the 6x squared to the side. That's going to be 240 minus 6x squared. I'm going to divide all that by 8x. And that's going to give me an equation for y. And I'm going to take the equation from y that I've got from the surface area and put it into my volume, which is going to be 3x squared. It's going to be really messy to start with, times 240 minus 6x squared all over 8x. Let's write it slightly neater. Now, look at what I need to get to. I need to get to this, so I need to show convincingly that's what I'm doing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 3x squared by 240, and I can also divide by 8. Now I don't want to do too much in one go, because I can't just write the answer down, because then I'm not really sort of demonstrating that I know how to do this properly. So I'm going to do the intermediate steps. I'm going to do 240 times 3, which is going to give me 720x squared over 8x. which I know will simplify, but it just, again, I'm showing what I'm doing. Then I'm taking away 3 times 6 is 18, x to the power 4 over 8x. And now I'm going to simplify. So 720 divided by 8 is 90, of course. And then x squared divided by x is x. And then minus 18 divided by 8 simplifies down to 9 over 4. So that's going to be minus 9 over 4. X4 over x is going to be x cubed. And then I've got there. Now, because to show that question, you need to make sure you're showing where it comes from. You can't just skip lots of steps, even if you can see it in your head. Final question. Now, remember, I have an equation for volume. So the equation for volume from above is going to be 90x minus 9 over 4x cubed. And then I need to work out maximal or minimum. So I need to work out basically where I've got a turning point. In other words, dv dx is equal to 0. So I need 90x differentiated is 90, minus 9 times 3 is 27 over 4. So 27 over 4 x squared. And that's my differentiated equation. And I need that to equal to 0. Again, I'm trying to show what I'm doing because these could be marks in the exam. So in other words, 90 is equal to 27 over 4x squared, which means that x is equal to 4 times 90 divided by 27 square rooted. Calculator out, or maybe you don't have a calculator, maybe it's a non-calculator exam, in which case you have a fraction, but I'm going to use my calculator and I get 3.65 centimetres. Now, how I answer the question? Use differentiation, done that, to find the value of x, which I've done, for which v is a maximum. It doesn't say prove it, so sometimes it might say prove, in which case I need to use a second derivative. It doesn't say that here, so therefore I'm happy with that answer. And that's today done. A decent mix of questions today, quite enjoyed today. Let me know how they went for you. Like, subscribe. See you tomorrow.